Welcome inside the Wildcat feature. I want to thank Darian Kinnard, class of 2018, joining me here this afternoon. And Darian, of course, just bring me through the draft process for you. Talk about after winning the Citrus Bowl this year and then heading into the draft process. What has that been like for you?
It's been pretty crazy. Coming as a freshman and then going 10-3, and winning against Penn State, I think was a pretty cool moment. Kind of realizing, like I'm here in the SEC. Like this is big boy ball, especially that first year all together. I mean, I could still look back and remember things vivid as day. But kind of just going throughout the process of going to college and, the daily grind of waking up early, going to work out, going to class, after class, going to practice, and then practice. You got to go back to the dorm. You have homework and things you still got to do. It was a lot, man. Just the daily grind was kind of it's kind of monotonous. And you might just sit there and tell yourself, like, man, I hate this. It's hard for me. It's hard some days to get up and want to do all of it all over again and just keep doing it. But going through that process with your teammates, your brothers, kind of just makes it easier. You're all in it together, and you're there just continually, battling day-to-day life. And then, when you play on the weekends, it just kind of makes everything worth it. So, leading up to senior year, just kind of dealing with all that and having a strong bond with my teammates was just kind of special. And then having another 10-3 season, winning at the same, bowl game, winning by the same amount too, by 3 points against a team that was also ranked higher than us, was kind of just like a big full circle for me. That kind of just made me like take a step back after and just, really appreciate what I accomplished and what me and my teammates did that year.
I want to take it back to the high school days. Of course, being at Saint Ignatius, of course, you transferred. You came in the summer of 2015. And not only that, you changed from being a guard to being a tackle. What do you remember from that transfer from Tennessee to Saint Ignatius, being a solidified starting tackle on your junior and senior seasons?
It's kind of crazy. I mean, coming from Tennessee, I was, playing freshman ball as a tackle, and then going into that summer, during the summer at, Dobbins Bennett, which was the high school in Tennessee, I got put to as a guard before going into my sophomore year, and then we moved. So then I went up to Ignatius, and they were like, "Hey, this guy's young, but he can play." And they, I was a backup as a guard, and then moved out to tackle my last 2 years, and kind of just made the most of it and did what I could. But it was it's kind of crazy just looking back on it, moving, the whole process of picking everything up, and just kind of started from scratch again. Just kind of how it goes, and just got to get used to it. Had to get used to it, really. Just moving around, playing ball. I mean, the only thing at the end of the day is that ball stayed the same. At the end of the day, I got to play football and compete against the best in my area and compete with my teammates every day.
And you were a part of some incredible St. Ignatius teams. Of course, a team in 2016 that was a state runner-up. Talk about that 2016 season. I know that was your junior year, going to a state championship, playing at Ohio Stadium. What do you remember from that?
All I remember is it was a heartbreaking loss in triple overtime, man. That's all I really remember. I remember the fans showing out, our boys in the stands wearing all white, if I remember. We showed out, we had fun, and we battled our ass off, but came up short ultimately. But I had a great time with those guys, had a great season. Loved playing, at the end of the day, loved playing ball with everybody there. And that year was special. And, we came up short against Minner my senior year, but those two years are still really, really great, and I still have great memories, and still love playing football there.
And then, of course, you had a couple of colleges to pick from. Kentucky ended up being the winner, and you went over to, Kentucky to play, and you solidified a starting job your sophomore year. When you got onto a college field, what was the immediate difference that you saw from the high school level to college level that was an immediate challenge playing D1 ball at Kentucky?
Yep. You know, off rip, it was just the size, strength, and speed of everybody. High school, you get with a lot of guys, and a lot of them are, probably smaller than you, depending on the position you play. They might be less athletic or not as fast as you, but when you get to college level, they're going to be guys who are, it's going to be more common for guys to be as big and fast and as strong as you at the next level. So, coming to college, those guys had a couple of years on me, and so they were definitely faster, stronger, and bigger than me, some of them. So, biggest difference was that, and just playing in a stadium, college crowd. It was just ridiculous in terms of how many people were there and how loud it gets Saturday nights. And then also a little different was traveling, but I'd say the two biggest ones were the crowd and just the athletic ability and size and strength of some of the guys at the next level is pretty hard to adjust to coming straight out of high school.
I want to stick with the stadium aspect and with the crowd. Of course, at your time in Kentucky, you played at some amazing stadiums, of course, at home, but was there a college stadium that stuck out to you, or NFL stadium that you played in that was your favorite during your time at Kentucky?
Biggest two that stuck out to me were actually three. There's three of them. Florida in my freshman year, that was like the biggest wake up call. Florida, and then A&M also my freshman year. Those crowds were ridiculous. In just terms of volume and sheer size of people, the amount of people there. And then Georgia was another one that was pretty insane. They do a thing every time they score a touchdown, they turn off the lights, and I mean, it might cause some people to have a seizure, but it was pretty cool, and they blast music, and it's just the whole environment really different than high school.
Through your time at Kentucky, I know it's kind of hard to pick one, but what were some of the favorite memories that stuck out to you in Kentucky that helped, frame you not only as a player but as a man heading into the NFL draft?
It's not a good memory, but it is a memory. The passing of John Schlarman, our teammate Chris Oates. He went through a hard accident, and just those things kind of just changed my life, and those people have a big impact on you from not what they said, but also the actions that they took for me and how they treated me. So it was a little bit of a ride, and every year had its challenges, but for sure having our coach pass away and having our the kid who came in my class, being a standout who was going to be and go on to do great things, have a pretty bad accident, kind of just shaped me and changed the way I think and, the approach I took to every day in terms of football and how I treated my teammates and my family.
That's amazing. And, of course, being a tackle at Kentucky, you're playing in the SEC, you're playing Division I football. That also means the opponents that you're playing are pretty outstanding athletes. So through those years playing at Kentucky, being a starting tackle, facing amazing defensive linemen and linebackers, are there players that stuck out to you as athletic monsters that really were fun to play against as competitors?
Lord, let's see. I mean, there was one on our team. His name was Josh Allen. Played at UK, went number 8 overall in the draft. He was the biggest wake up call I got personally. So that was a crazy first couple months going against him in full pads. But I wouldn't say there were some guys that just shell shock. Actually, there was one. It was my freshman year also. I think it was Montez Sweat from Mississippi State, if I remember correctly. Or there was like a D-tack who went I think top 10, and his number was 99 at Mississippi State my freshman year. And he was a monster. His arms were as big as my legs, and that's saying something. And he was built. He was built to last, and he was definitely a monster. And then there was my sophomore year, we had a guy. There was a guy at South Carolina, number 3. Can't remember his last name. He was about 6'8", 310 pounds of just pure muscle. Dude was crazy. So you're going to find guys like that occasionally that just are like ridiculous in terms of size, strength, and athletic ability. And then every other person has their own kind of like unique play style that kind of just adapts to what you're doing and adapts to the game and how fast things are. Some guys might be really good at speed. Others are just really good with technique and, can beat you with that. Or there's just some guys who are just strong as hell and they can throw you aside, even though you're, me personally, I'm 330 pounds. So sometimes they can just pick you up and move you like it was nothing. So it's just everybody has their own niche that got them to the next level. And then, you'll find those standouts that are definitely going to go on to play in the next level.
Darren, we've already talked about, the draft process. You're working out a ton. You, of course, went through the combine and everything. And now with the draft just being now a couple of days away, of course, the media is going to talk. Everybody becomes a draft expert leading up to the NFL draft. So, talk about blocking out the outside noise. How do you kind of avoid looking at mock drafts on where you're going to go? Just talk about blocking that out and focusing on what you need to take care of before the draft.
Honestly, the biggest thing I did was I stopped with Twitter. Like I literally just stayed off of everything. Like I was not really trying to focus on every little thing that was said to me. I kind of just put my head down, continue working, and just played ball. I mean, of course, it's easy to get dragged into that sort of mindset of like, oh, what this dude say about me? Like, are people talking good? People talking bad? You can really get dragged into it and just not have a great time with focusing on what you need to focus on. So I think that's the biggest thing is just kind of just staying off of social media. Just keep your head down and focus on you.
And when you are eventually drafted, Darian, what is one of the areas you're looking to improve on as a tackle to make an immediate impact on a team that does decide to choose you in the draft?
Biggest thing is just focus up, learn what I can. All those guys are at the next level, and some of them have been there for 6, 7 years. Just learn what I can, adapt to the situation, and just find a spot where I can shine and just keep making improvements. That's the biggest thing.
And, Darian, finally, just talk to me about your overall thoughts heading into this week. Have you taken a moment to kind of take a step back to seeing how special this is going to be, or has it just been just day by day for you heading into the draft?
Being in college, it's always day by day for me, and that's just kind of the person I am. So, really, it's just all right. What I got to do today? Wake up and go work out, go do, Zoom interviews and meetings with people, go do this certain thing. So you're just kind of constantly running around, and especially for the past 2 months, there's really no break. Visiting teams, having interviews with teams, figuring out, getting my stuff packed, getting my stuff moved. It's really just a day by day thing, and I'm just kind of focusing on what I need to do. But big day is coming up tomorrow and the next couple of days. So it's kind of exciting, but I can't get anxious because I've been asked that a lot too. Are you getting anxious? Are you excited? Are you? It's just another day. I'm gonna be excited when the day comes, but for now, it's just let's keep the main thing the main thing.
All right, Darian, I want to thank you so much for your time. Of course, Darian Kinnard, NFL draft prospect and class of 2018 from Saint Ignatius High School. And Darian, we wish you nothing but the best heading into the NFL draft.
Thank you guys very much. Thanks for having me.